Yesterday, here in California, we just saw some new legislation. Governor Gavin Newsom signed one of the first bills to regulate AI companies in this state. It is called Transparency in Frontier Artificial Intelligence Act, or SB 53. It is the first to focus on the safety of these powerful AI models by forcing companies to publish documents that lay out how they are going to work to try to create safe AI systems. And it also adds some new protections for whistleblowers who raise concerns about AI health and safety risks and a whole lot of other stuff in there. So how is it going to impact the industry? Let's bring in NBC News AI reporter Jared Perlo to talk a little bit more about the regulation here. So, Jared, what are the first effects that all of us who may or may not use AI frequently, what are the effects that we're going to see first?
Absolutely, and thanks for having me, Gotti. So I think this is a big moment in the regulation of AI. So SB 53 is one of the first bills, really the first bill to regulate what we call frontier AI providers. So these are the OpenAIs, the Google DeepMinds, the Anthropics, the Metas of the world, who are basically creating the foundational models upon which lots of other AI applications sit. So SB 53 is all about transparency. So what we're going to concretely see is these companies are now required to document and publish online how they're assessing and mitigating what the law says is catastrophic risks. So we're not talking about, your everyday bias and discrimination, although those are still important, but we're talking about chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear risk. We're talking about loss of control from AI systems. So that's going to be one of the first things we see. We also are going to see the creation of a new whistleblower mechanism and system for reporting incidents of critical safety events from both within labs and then also members of the public, if they're aware of these sorts of AI-caused events, can also report this to the California Office of Emergency Services. So we're going to start seeing some real-world effects pretty quickly.
And if we big picture this, Europe has adopted some AI regulation that's kind of become worldwide standard a little bit. But in this case, because Silicon Valley is in California, most AI companies are based here. Could we see SB 53 become the de facto framework for regulation across the country and potentially for the world?
I think that's a distinct possibility, and we've heard of the Brussels effect before, where regulation in the EU kind of spills over and affects the rest of the world. We might see what some are calling the Sacramento effect here with AI. Depending on which side of regulation you're on, you're either in favor or very against that. We do know, 32 of the 50 largest AI companies, according to a Forbes ranking that came out in April, are based in California. Governor Gavin Newsom, when he signed this bill yesterday, he explicitly said in the memo that what we do here in California will reverberate and affect the rest of the world when it comes to AI. I think, on the whole, these transparency requirements are not actually that intense. It's not even requiring these companies to do specific tests. It's just about disclosure about what they are doing. So I think in terms of that approach to transparency, it wouldn't be surprising if we see that spill over to other countries.
And what's the next step? Is it requiring a certain type of safety testing instead of just saying, what are you guys doing? Publish your own internal studies and figure out for ourselves whether or not you're taking this seriously?
Yeah, so, again, this is a transparency-focused bill. It actually had a predecessor last year, SB 1047. The acronyms are always, they roll off the tongue. But that was actually vetoed last year by Gavin Newsom because it focused on liability and would hold these companies responsible. So there was a lot of industry lobbying that went into this. A lot of different passages were watered down. There used to be much stronger protections against hacking. There used to be, a mandate that external auditors would come in and make sure that the companies were basically doing what they say they were doing, but those were basically all stripped down. So now it's just about transparency. We will probably see, both in New York and at the federal level, some upcoming AI legislation that will take it to the next level, though.
Well, Jared Perlo, thank you. Always appreciate you stopping by.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.